moving on to the question number 2, it is given that the liquid phase of a pure substance is termed as if its temperature is lower than the saturation temperature corresponding to its pressure P. The state of the liquid from the given options if its temperature is lower than the saturation temperature corresponding to its pressure. So this question is asking if the given temperature T is less than the saturation temperature corresponding to the pressure P. So what is the state? So to understand this concept, we have to first understand the concept of the TS diagram. So let us draw a TS diagram. So a TS diagram is somewhat like this, and if we draw a constant pressure line on this diagram, so they will be somewhat like this. Now this is the region that is subcooled region. So this is subcooled region. This is the region which is superheated, and this is mixed region. This line is saturated liquid line, and this line is saturated vapor line, and the point where these two lines meets is the critical point. Now this is a constant pressure line, means the pressure will be P at all the place. Now let us take the example of a water. Now let us suppose water is at 1 bar and 80 degrees Celsius, and we start heating. So the curve, let's say this is P is equal to 1 bar, and suppose water initially at state 1 is at this point. Now if we start heating the water, then it will reach a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, which is known as the saturation temperature. So this 100 degrees Celsius is the saturation temperature corresponding to the pressure P, which is 1 bar. Now these two things are vice versa. Now if the pressure is 1 bar, then the saturation temperature is 100 bar. Now we can say this statement reversely, that if the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, then the corresponding saturation pressure will be 1 bar. Now when the water reaches the saturated liquid line, then it will start changing its phase, and this is the phase change region, and at this point the pressure and temperature both remain constant, and pressure is a function of temperature, or I can say temperature is a function of pressure. Means if pressure is fixed, then temperature is fixed, and it reaches saturated vapor point. This is saturated vapor point. Now if you further increase the temperature, then the water will reach the superheated state at the constant pressure. So the question says if its temperature is lower than the saturation temperature. Now this is the saturation temperature, as already said that this will be the saturation temperature corresponding to the pressure P. If this temperature is less than this temperature, then obviously this temperature is T saturation, and the temperature, so in this region temperature will be less than the saturation temperature, and this is subcooled region. So from the given option, option B is the correct answer. Now this subcooled region is also known as